Hi guys, today I want to talk to you about sinking and floating. What do you think it means when something floats in water? What do you think that means? Have you ever floated in a swimming pool? Or maybe you laid down in your bathtub and you were floating along the top of the water? Well, that's what it means. Floating means that whatever's in the water doesn't go all the way down to the bottom. When it goes down to the bottom underneath the water, it sinks. What do you think would make something float? Why do you think some things float and some things don't? Make a prediction. Why do you think? Maybe it's smaller. That could be it. Or the item that sinks is bigger. Maybe.
Well, think about it.
Let's do an experiment. Miss Rachel has a crayon. Now, you all have held crayons. You know, they're small, they're relatively light, they don't weigh a lot. Let's predict, do you think this will sink in the water or do you think this will float on top of the water? Let's see. I'm going to put it in my water. What's my crayon doing? Is it on the bottom? Miss Rachel, stick her finger in so you can see. Is it on the bottom of my tub of water? No, it's not. It's floating along the top of the water. Why do you think that is? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because the crayon is light. It does not weigh a lot, so therefore it floats on top of the water. Good job, guys. Now let's do another item. Here, I have a spoon, just a regular spoon from my house. What do you think? Will the spoon sink to the bottom or will it float on top of the water like the crayon? Well, make a prediction. Let's test it out. Let's experiment. I'm going to put my spoon in. Oh, what happened? Where's my spoon right now? Right, my spoon sank down to the bottom of my tub of water. It's not on the top floating, it's down at the bottom. It's sunk. So why do you think that is? Why do you think my spoon sunk to the bottom, but my crayon floated on top? It could be because the spoon is bigger, and usually when something's bigger, it weighs more, it's heavy. And my spoon is in fact much heavier than my crayon. Good job, guys. Let's do something else. What about this? It's a plastic toy elephant that I had in my house. Let's compare it to the crayon. Which one's bigger? Well, the crayon is taller, that's true, but the elephant is much wider than the crayon. They both feel pretty similar in weight. They feel like they weigh the same. So make a prediction. Are you going to predict that it sinks to the bottom? Or is your prediction that the elephant will float at the top like the crayon? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, let's test it out.
Let's do an experiment. Here we go. Oh man, look at my pink elephant. Did it sink to the bottom? No, it's floating on top of the water, and in fact, it's sticking out of the water a little bit. It's floating on top of the water like my crayon. So the pink elephant floats. Even though they're different sizes, both the crayon and my elephant were able to float. Let's do another one. Miss Rachel has a painted rock. I made this a long time ago, so I wanted to use it. What do you think? Do you think my painted rock will sink or float? Let's test it out. Oh wow, you could even hear it hit the bottom of the pan. So my rock sank right to the bottom of my tub of water. Who can remind me, why did my rock rock sink? I mean, it's not very big. Why do you think it sank? Because it's heavy. Let's see, my rock, oh yeah. My rock is much heavier than my crayon. My crayon is very light in comparison to my rock. Just listen to the sound they make when they hit the table. That's a pretty small sound. Ooh, that is a big, heavy sound. So my rock sank because it was heavy. Okay. Ooh, now here's a tricky one. I have a paper towel roll. Instead of throwing it away, I thought I could recycle it and do some experiments with it. So what do you think? Will my paper towel roll sink or will it float? Well, it is much bigger than the crayon.
So maybe that means it's
Heavier. Let's do the drop test. Listen to the sound of the crayon. That's a tiny, light sound. Listen to the sound of the paper towel roll. Oh, wow, that's a pretty light sound too. And let me weigh them in my hands. Oh, they weigh about the same. They're both very light. So what is, based on all of that information, what is your prediction? Do you think the paper towel roll will sink to the bottom or float on top of the water?
Let's test it out. Ooh, what's my paper towel?
Towel roll doing? What happened when I put it in the water? Right, it's sitting on top of the water. It's floating on top of the water. Why do you think that is? Why do you think my paper towel roll is floating on top of the water?
Right.
Because it's light. It does not weigh a lot. It is not heavy. Good job, guys. All right, I have one more. I have a can of tuna. It hasn't been opened. It's fully closed. What do you think about my can of tuna? Have you ever held a can in your hand, a can of food? How does it feel? Is it light? Is it heavy? I can tell you this does not feel light. So that means if it's not light, if it must weigh a lot, what does that mean? That it's heavy. So what do you think is going to happen when I put this heavy can of tuna in my bin of water?
That's a good prediction. Let's test.
Test it out. Oh, it did exactly what we thought it would do. It sunk to the bottom because it's heavy. All right, good job, friends. Now remember, things that are light, that don't weigh a lot, they float to the top. Things that are heavy sink to the bottom. Now you can do your own sink and float experiments at home. You can get a bin of water and some toys. Maybe you can do it within the kitchen sink. You can help your parents do the dishes. Or maybe you can do it when you're taking a bath. See what in your bathtub sinks to the bottom and what floats to the top. Thanks for experimenting with me today, guys. I will see you next time. Bye.